Ari, welcome back.
Thank you, Adam.
It's been a while.
Yeah. It's ages.
I wanted to wear the same thing this week.
I was just going to say, we're wearing the same outfits again.
Yeah.
I did my hair the same way.
Yeah. I haven't showered. So I've actually just been sitting in this chair waiting a whole week to record with you again. I've been so eager to talk about Snape Victorious.
I've only gone to the bathroom once since we last talked.
Any updates? Anything you're looking forward to coming up?
No, I have this drink, which I'm very excited to drink.
Sure. What is that?
This is essentially UK's version of Powerade, Lucozade.
Oh, okay.
Because Michael and I mowed the lawn today, and it was literally like a grassland from The Lion King. It was like so bad. So I went up and pulled all the weed, or like, what is it? Sheared all the weeds that were like literally as tall as me. I'm not kidding. Like huge weeds that grew in like the last couple months. I don't understand how weeds grow that fast.
That's crazy.
This is how you know you're an adult. You're talking about your yard adventures.
It's so sad.
And then Michael mowed down the lawn. So right now our lawn looks very dry and dead, but at least it's not a grassland. And I went out and was like watering. We went and got a hose. I was watering it to try and like help it come back because it was just.
Ari, I saw the video that I have to send you this. Hold on. Of all the people I've met, I actually can't believe I sent this to RJ and not you. It's a video I found
you are married
on Twitter. I'm sending it to you in our text thread. It is a video of someone who has like the spray gun on their hose and they own a flock of ducks. Is it a flock of ducks? A pack of ducks? Whatever. They own ducks. And so they're testing out the different nozzle heads and which ones the ducks like the most. And it's so charming.
Okay, I want to see.
It's just like shower spray, wide cone spray. Ari, this week we read chapter 8, Snape Victorious. What happens in the chapter?
Harry is rescued, but doesn't really enjoy the chat with his rescuer, and doesn't really enjoy who rescues him from that rescuer.
Yeah.
And then finally gets back to Hogwarts. Is reunited with.
Period.
Yeah, I guess. I'm like, I don't know. There's like a lot. This is like a transitional chapter.
Yeah.
Harry does indeed go back to Hogwarts.
He doesn't go back to London.
Yeah. Harry goes to Hogwarts, not London, and has some not very enjoyable interactions. And then fills Ron in on what just happened to him.
Great.
So the chapter opens with Harry basically being stuck on the train. And he's like going through it because he's just literally frozen. This is not what is it called? When people have ADHD have paralysis. Do
they?
Not like it's a paralysis where your head is spinning. Like you'll be thinking about all the things you should be doing.
Oh.
But there's instead of being able to. What is it called? There's a word for it. Hold on now. This is going to bug me. Oh, okay. They just call it like task paralysis. It's just basically where you're like, oh, I know I should be doing this or I need to be doing all these things. And you're sitting there spiraling about it in your head, but you're just like kind of frozen because you're mentally like overwhelmed by all the things you're thinking you should be doing. So then you don't end up doing anything because you're just like too overwhelmed. So he's like actually paralyzed because he's been terrificus totalis. And he's like, well, someone will surely check the compartments, right? And then he's like, oh, but even if someone does do that, they won't see me because I have an invisibility cloak over me.
Nobody does that. That's what we come to find out. No one. I would have liked if it was like somebody walked by and like, they
looked in.
Fine. Nobody does this. This is crazy.
Also, you could just send a spell through to like reveal if anyone was still on the train. You don't even have to walk.
Guys, you have magic. You do. I don't.
You're wizards.
You are wizards.
You are a wizard. So he's basically like, well, first he's like ashamed that he's thinking, well, why aren't people like, where is the Harry Potter? And I was like, all right, Harry, slow down. I was like, okay. I get you being concerned about your friends, like being like, I would be hurt if my friends weren't like, where's Ari? Like getting off the train. I would be upset if my friends weren't like
Neville and Ginny know that he went to follow Blaise Zabini. That's the last time they saw him.
Yeah.
So it's weird that they wouldn't be like, I mean, I get that they weren't together because Ginny probably went back to the compartment with Dean Thomas.
Yeah.
But Neville went back to the same compartment that would have had Ron and Hermione, unless they were back on their prefect duties again.
Maybe, yeah, we'll say that they were on their prefect duties and Neville couldn't tell them. But he's basically just like, oh, I'm an idiot, you know? He's like, how did I get myself into this situation?
And you know what, Harry? We agree.
Yeah.
You went in there with no plan, and to think that he was, I mean, Draco was sharing more than he probably should have, but you thought, what did you think? Draco was going to be like, so anyway, now that I'm a full-fledged Death Eater, please would
Let
you
me
like
show
to
you
see
my dark mark.
My dark mark? Like, girl, be serious.
Dirk Merc. Dirk Merc. So and I don't know if this made you laugh, but I loved the idea. Sorry, Harry. I know that you were not enjoying this situation, but I loved the idea of like the train jerked and then he was like,
like gets the rolled over.
And then it's stuck that way because he can't move. So he's just like, but then Tonks finds him, Tonks to the rescue. And she's like, watcha, Harry. Speaking of watcha on Speaking 2 episodes ago now?
Yeah.
Watcha, Harry. And he's very, very embarrassed. He is very embarrassed that she found him this way. I don't know. I mean, to be clear, I get very embarrassed. No. Because what I'm saying is like, my pride can be hurt. It's possible. I'm not saying like I have no pride, blah, blah. But like I would be like, oh my God, I'm so relieved you found me. Like I just feel like I would not be concerned with like, it's embarrassing that I like was found.
Does he even say thank you?
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, he just sucks, guys.
He might have said thank you though. I want to believe that he did.
I think he thanks her at the end. When he goes to walk away.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but he's very embarrassed that he was found in this state.
Oh, no, he does. He says thanks he says it bitterly.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. You get a pass, Harry, today.
Fine. But then right away, what'd you say?
I said that's growth. Okay.
Yeah. We'll give you like 1 point. He notices right away though. He's like, he notices that she looks like really mousy and like like a bit wan. And I was like,
a bit all right. Wan. What does that mean?
Just What's like kind of like haggard.
Oh, is it like WAN?
Yeah, WAN. Worn. I think it's worn out, isn't it?
Pale and giving the impression of illness or exhaustion. Yeah. Wow, I've never heard this word, Ari.
Oh my God,
2 weeks in a row.
What is going on? Oh my God.
She's in her academia era.
Apparently. I'm loving it. But yeah, he's like basically just like in his head being like, oh, she does not look good. I was like, all right. But I will make a note that he does notice like when she's talking to him, typically when she would have been more cheerful, she's like not smiling at all, which he makes note of as well. Like she's just kind of like blankly responding to him. Yeah. So then they head back up towards the castle. She sends her Patronus with a message. The Patronus is some enormous 4-legged beast, basically.
It's
Dog-like.
weird. I don't know at what point in the chapter he says it, but he talks about the difference between like previous Tonks to this Tonks.
Yeah.
And in like the little monologue in his head he has about it, he's like, she used to talk so much that it was honestly irritating. And I was like, what?
What's happening?
Why are women not enough for you, Harry?
Yeah. What is going on?
There's always something.
She looks mousy and wan, but before she talked too much. So
yeah.
I don't
she
like
ran
either
her damn
version.
mouth. Yeah. Okay.
Oh God. Don't talk as much and be good looking all the time. Never look bad and always smile. Like, it's just like, are you kidding? Like,
okay.
what is a woman wrote this? A woman wrote this. Ugh, it just pisses me off. Like, I'm like, it's just like when you think about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, you're talking about a teenage boy. Like, you're writing these thoughts that he's having about this woman who is, as we've discussed before, like the only woman in this book that isn't already like a mother, which she does become a mother. She gets married and becomes a mother. That's her trajectory. But it's like, she's the only character that is like,
oh, well, her trajectory is death. I mean, that's really what her... sorry to spoil alert, but... Yeah.
But not before becoming a mother, Adam.
Yeah. Fulfilling the most important role a woman can do.
Woman can. I know. It's just so dumb. I'm like, that's great if women want to be mothers. I love that. I love my mom. But not every woman wants to do that. And that's not like a woman's role here on earth is to like be a mother. God.
Yeah.
So they're heading back up to the castle. As they're walking, we learn that there are multiple Aurors, including Dwalish, which Harry is surprised because he's like the one that Dumbledore like knocked out.
Took out,
year. Yeah.
K.O.
Yeah. K.O. And then as they're continuing to talk about this, he's observing that she is much more serious. And this was the bit which you just said where she's like, where he's like,
she was just, she used to just yap and yap and yap.
Exactly.
Okay.
Oh my God, it's awful.
Well, why don't you give her a list of criteria that you expect for her as a person?
God,
and then she can meet those expectations. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
I just gave you a point, Harry, and I'm taking it back.
Yeah. We're removing that point now. Gosh, because you're so pleasant to interact with, Harry.
Jesus. I wrote one note for this chapter because I don't usually write as many notes when it's not my week, but I wrote one note for this chapter, and when you get to it, I am going to go on a 6-minute tangent.
Great. Great. I'll let you go off. You go off. So he thinks about, in his head, he's like, maybe I should try and say something about Sirius and like tell her that it wasn't her fault. And like very quickly, he's like, no.
But I don't want to talk about Sirius.
Yeah, but I don't want to talk about Sirius. And I was like, Harry, you are so annoying.
I think
like,
the two of you, it would be very healing for the two of you to talk about Sirius. Of all people, you both have a connection to him.
I'm just like, he annoys me. I get so annoyed. I'm just like, just talk about it. Damn it. You'll feel better. You have felt better in the past when you have talked about shit like this.
Yes.
You've always felt better. Literally this book 2 chapters ago or maybe 3 when he shared with Ron and Hermione and he actually like felt better afterward. I was like,
a warm sensation in his stomach.
Yeah. I'm like, okay. Anyway, so they get up to the castle gates. They can't get in. Harry's kind of making some suggestions. Like he's like, oh, well, maybe I could like climb it or something. He says something else. And she basically shoots down like both of his suggestions because they're not going to work, Harry. Because he like gets annoyed that she's just like, no, that won't work. He's like, okay, well, I guess I'll just sleep here then.
Pause. Pause.
Is this it?
If you don't fucking learn how to problem solve, I swear to God, the Dark Lord will kill you. This is the most dumb teenager bullshit I've ever heard in my life. The idea of being like, oh, well,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you offered 2 suggestions and she's like, no, that won't. There's like a bunch more security this year. Just completely whatever. And you're like, okay, well, I'll just sleep on the floor. Oh my God, please grow up. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever fucking heard in my life. You are the stupidest person on earth. I was so mad at that reaction because you know what? I'm realizing in this moment, I will tell you, RJ can never listen to this. It is because
RJ, don't edit
RJ will do this, where I will be like, can you not do that? And he'll be like, okay, I just won't do anything. And I'm like,
my sister does that.
And I'm like, please. That is, in what world is that the appropriate response?
I know.
I just want you to be like, okay.
All right.
And then move on. Not, well.
Well, guess I just won't talk then.
Yeah.
That's the thing. One time we were driving somewhere and Melinda said that. Like, I was like, oh, sorry, you're talking really loud or something like that. And she was like, okay, I guess I just won't talk then. I was like, no, that's not what I said. You're just very loud.
That is literally how I react to it. I'm like, okay, girl, do your show. Do your little show, girl. Put on the play. My God.
It's so funny, though, because there was one time.
Receive the awards. Yes.
There was one time when we were still staying with Michael's parents where Michael said something like that to Michael said to Keith, like, oh, well, you can't say that, or that's not fair because blah, 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 blah. And then Keith was like, well, I just won't comment on anything anymore. And I remember I was like, I'm sorry, a 60-year-old man just said that.
It's so crazy.
It was so, and then later I said to Michael, I was like, I could not believe your dad said that. That was so funny to me. I was like, how old are we?
Like, fine, Harry is still a teenager, so he does get to get away with this, but it is deeply frustrating. The idea of being like, oh, Alohomora. Girl, Alohomora shouldn't have worked at any point on the Hogwarts Castle gates. I'm going to be so serious. And then
you don't want Alohomora to work.
I'm going to scale the wall. I'm going to scale the wall. Okay?
That's what I'm saying.
That won't work either.
Harry, your ideas were bad.
And so then your next idea was I'm going to sleep on the ground outside. Please be serious for 1 second. You sound so daffy. You sound so stupid. I'm going to sleep on the ground. Okay, well.
I guess I'll just sleep outside then.
Summon up a fucking cot, girl.
That's what I feel like when people react that way now, that's what I'm just going to start doing. I'm going to be like, okay. Yeah.
Enjoy. Talk should have just walked away and been like, have fun.
Yeah. Bye.
Oh, I was so mad about it. Okay, sorry. That was all. That's
so then Tonks is like, no, you're totally valid. So then Tonks is like, there's a lantern coming. After you just threw your little fit.
Can you just look? Can you just observe?
Look behind you. Look at your surroundings. Take in your surroundings, okay?
You saw her send a text.
Basically,
we're calling a Patronus a text.
She sent a spirit text.
You saw her one. What? So what do you think it didn't go? Do you think it missed its location? It was supposed to.
It just went off somewhere. It was like, nope, I'm not going to who you want me to go to.
She doesn't have enough happiness for it to have made it to its destination.
Yeah, it's literally like,
I mean, technically it doesn't make it to its intended recipient. Technically.
That's so stupid. Oh my gosh. I usually don't make myself laugh like that. It's so dumb. So Harry's like, oh, thank God there's someone coming to get me. God, I could even put up with Filch right now to get away from Tonks. I'm like, you are so annoying. I'm like, yeah, please leave. Please leave Tonks alone. She has enough to deal with. God. And then honestly, I don't feel bad for him
He
at all.
doesn't even. The craziest thing about the whole thing is like, sure, you could have at some point been like, hey, if you're thinking about serious or whatever, like, sure, maybe that would have been the most mature thing to do. Even the like less mature, just regular thing is like, how have you been? It's good to see you.
How's it going? I haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, there's no like actual.
It's always nice to see you.
Yeah, no like actual attempt at conversation or checking in with her.
Okay.
What?
You just ignored her, and then you were mad that she didn't offer an immediate suggestion to your dumbass fucking ideas. You're so irritating.
I know. I'm just like
I could never be his friend. I could never be his friend.
I'm like, Harry, come on. So then his karma is that Snape is the one that is coming to take him up to the castle. I was like, yeah, you thought it couldn't get worse? You were annoyed with Tonks?
Yeah.
Well, here's Snape.
Yeah. Enjoy.
So Tonks is like confused when Snape shows up because she says that she sent her Patronus to Hagrid, not to Snape. And Snape's like, oh yeah, he was late to the feast. So I like intercepted the message basically. Can you do that? I'm sorry. How does that work?
Yeah. wait a damn minute. Now, wait a damn minute. What are you talking about?
Did you
and
just
also,
like come into the
I
path?
gotta be honest. How does the message? How is it relayed? It's just a ghost.
Well, we find out later.
Does it
in
like
the next
talk?
book? Yeah, the voice that comes out is the person's voice, but it comes out of the animal.
It's a voice memo.
It's a voice memo. A spirit voice memo.
But even if I was like, I'm gonna say it was a group. So it's like, so what? So here's what it is, guys. I can explain it. She sent. There's a Order of the Phoenix group chat is basically what she sent it to, and her idea was like, oh, they're kind of all in the same place. Hagrid is probably most available right now.
Yeah.
But of course, Snape intercepted it and was like, I actually pressed play on the voice note first in the group chat.
Yeah, it was the group chat.
Yeah. Just so everybody's clear on what was going on. I did have to do a bit of explaining for Joe Rowling, who wrote this fucking book, so you can explain, you understand what's going on.
It's the Order of the Phoenix. So, oot. So yeah, she's very confused why Snape has showed up. And Snape's like, yeah, he was late, so I'm here instead. And then he was like, I don't like the new Patronus that you have, by the way. It looks weak. Snape. Fucking die. Like, rot in hell. You piece of shit. He is so
it's weird
annoying.
That she doesn't write an explanation of what it was previously or is currently.
No. Yeah, I'm curious what it was previously. We find out what it is now.
Yeah,
Very
isn't
soon.
it? It's a dog, isn't it? Now
It's Lupin now.
Oh, it's Lupin.
Werewolf.
Now.
Yeah, it's a werewolf.
Okay. A werewolf looks weak to you? Because a couple books ago, Snape, you were quivering in your little boots.
Hold on, but is it maybe a dog instead? Maybe I'm wrong. Oh yeah, changed from a jackrabbit to a wolf. Yeah. Okay, so I was right. Okay, so just a wolf, not a werewolf.
So her previous one was a jackrabbit. Her new one is a wolf, and you're saying the new one looks weak? Snape,
I like to go back to the bunny.
Snape, do you even have happy memories to summon a fucking Patronus? Like, piss off.
Snape, what would your Patronus even be?
A pile of grease. A movable pile of grease.
Yeah, a slug.
Just floating through the air.
Yeah. God. Ugh.
Snape's fucking, like, Patronus is probably, like, one of those fucking blobfish that live in the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
And are just like, bleh.
Yeah. 100%. I know.
Everyone in this chapter is annoying.
Again, Snape is a horrible person. He's horrible. So as they're heading back up to the castle, Harry and Snape, Harry says goodbye to Tonks. Tonks says, see you later, Harry. Then Snape just like starts laying into Harry. So Harry, as they're walking up, Harry is feeling, what is the word? Where he's getting like some sense of satisfaction out of like seething over blaming Snape. He's kind of blaming Snape for what happened to Sirius. He's like, it was his fault because of what he said to him, and that's what pushed him to do it. And I hate him for it. Like in his head, this is all happening.
Yeah.
And then Snape takes 70 points from Gryffindor because Harry was late. 7-0.
So stupid.
He's
so
literally
stupid.
like, how old are you? This is so, why do you care this much? This is so stupid.
It's so dumb.
You don't have a fucking life. Like, you clearly don't.
It's so stupid.
Oh my God. I was like, 70 points? My note is literally Snape takes 70 points from Gryffindor. What the actual fuck? So they get up to the castle. They arrive outside of the Great Hall. Harry has his invisibility cloak with him. And Snape is like, oh no, I think you're going to go in there without the cloak actually, so everyone can see you because that's obviously what you wanted. But also I was like, okay, from a practical standpoint, you can't let Harry Potter walk into the Great Hall and then like reveal himself like in the Great Hall. I was like, that was never going to be an option anyway. So I don't know why that was like thrown out as like a real option for Harry. I was like, you were never going to be able to do that. So Harry is like, fine, whatever. I don't care. I'm just happy to get the fuck away from you. So he like rushes in to the Great Hall, just tries to walk as fast as he possibly can to just get past everyone. And then he sees Ron and Hermione. So he makes like a beeline for them and just sits down. Hermione and Ron are both very concerned, as is everyone else at this table, because Harry's face is still covered in blood. And I think, do you know what? I think because he was kind of a little bit of a jerk, Tonks was like, I'm just going to leave that blood on you.
You can deal with that.
Yeah. She was like, I'm not going to clean that up. So Hermione cleans up the blood, but is still trying to press Harry to tell them what happened. And he's like, I'll tell you later. Like, I will tell you later, because everyone's kind of looking at him and he doesn't want to talk about it right now. So we find out that he missed the sorting. Hagrid was late as well. He mentions this, but Hagrid is there now. Also, Professor Trelawney is actually there at the start of the term piece for once. Yeah. Was this literally just so she could mention the prophecy again, do you think?
Don't know. Or does she have a new lease on like her career because she almost got kicked out? Like, is she like, I'm going to be 100% into this teaching thing this year. I'm really going to try it out.
I'm going to be really involved. You know, I'm going to be the head of a club.
Yeah. I'm going to sponsor a club.
Yeah, I'm going to sponsor a club. Get involved with some extracurricular
I think there should
activities.
be a newspaper. She absolutely gives me like newspaper like
teaching. Yeah.
She's running the
So yeah, because he's missed the sorting, we don't get to hear the song. He does ask about the song, and they're basically like, oh yeah, I just said like we need to come together and stuff like that.
Okay, here's my hot take. I think she wrote the fucking song in book 1. And then she was like, I don't want to
do it again
every book.
Yeah.
So she only was like, I will do it one more time. She does it in book 4. And then she was like, I'm never doing this again.
Yeah.
I hate this.
Yeah, because the book 2, he's with Ron and doesn't come. Book 3, he's with Hermione and doesn't come. Book 4, it happens. Book 5, wasn't there one? Or was he not? Where did they go? No, book 5, there was one.
Was there one in book 5? I can grab my book.
I think so.
There is a chapter called The Sorting Hat's New Song in book 5.
Yes.
So we do. So 1, 4, 5.
Yeah, 1, 4, 5. 3. She was like, third time's a charm. I'm done.
Yeah.
Um, so where was I? Oh, after he was like looking at Trelawney and was like, oh, she's actually here. That's so weird. She never comes to the feast. He catches sight of Draco mimicking like a nose breaking. And he's like, all right, I'm not going to continue to watch that. And then Ron and Hermione share that everyone has been trying to find out if Harry is indeed the chosen one. And then there was this super weird, Adam, this was so weird. This weird little interjection from Nearly Headless Nick. I was like, we haven't heard from you for books and books. I was like, the last time you and Harry had like a heart-to-heart was at the end of last year where you basically told him like you couldn't help him.
Yeah.
And that was it. There wasn't anything else that happened. You didn't have like an actual heart-to-heart or anything. Harry was trying to talk to you and you basically just were like, no, I can't help with that. Sorry. And that was the conversation.
A ghost. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not a ghost. Yeah. It was so weird. He was like, oh, well, everyone keeps asking me, but I'm telling them Harry Potter can confide and trust in me, his friend, Nearly Headless Nick. And I was like, dude, it was so weird to me. I was like,
do you think
I did not need that?
Do you think, you know how like as we age, years seem to go by faster? Do you think it's just like a blink of an eye for someone who's like been a ghost for 500 years?
It's gotta be.
Like maybe he really thinks like he had that conversation with him like yesterday. He's like, we can find it practically every day.
There we go. Yeah. There we go. Okay. He's like, I've had like relatively deep conversations with this person in the past 6 years, basically. Yeah.
Which
we're
to me was like
friends.
The past week and a half.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We'll go with that.
He got invited to his death day party, technically.
But that was the second book.
I know.
This is what I'm saying. That I'm like, if this was right after the second book, maybe. But it's just like, dude, what? So Dumbledore gets up to give his like welcome back speech. Hermione and pretty much everyone else in the room notices his blackened hand. And Hermione's like, oh my God, what happened to his hand?
I wish I had painted this black so I could be
get your Sharpie. Dumbledore notices everyone else noticing his hand. So he like flips his little sleeve to like cover it, which then made me laugh. Cause then is he like, welcome.
Welcome to Hogwarts.
Welcome.
Look, I have a
welcome back. Welcome back, everyone. Wait, let me go back. Welcome back, everyone. Like I'm like, that's weird. Like,
just put your hand behind your back, girl. Just gesticulate with
one hand. So there's a bunch of...
Everyone is so weird.
I know. It's such a weird chapter. So everyone's like whispering about his hand. He's like, oh, it's nothing to worry about. Totally fine. all normal here.
Nothing going on.
All normal here. Like, it's so stupid. So he starts kind of going through just the normal announcements he has to make. To no one's surprise, Filch has banned Weasley's Wizard Wheezes products. Slughorn is announced
as
Potions Master.
What?
Meaning Severus Snape is the defense against the dark
Gypsy
arts
Rose.
Everything's coming up, Severus.
Yeah.
So he is the one, y'all. It has happened. He has become the defense against the dark arts professor. And my favorite bit about this is that Harry just yells, "No!
No!
No. I like even more than that like no. I like more that in the chapter it's like multiple people turn around to look at him. They hear it, they're like,
and he doesn't care.
I mean, none of us like him, but Jesus.
No! Yeah. None of us like him. No one likes him, but come on. Keep it together.
I promise you, Harry, I don't like Snape either. He can't be a worse teacher than
famously
most of the teachers you've had for that class.
Yeah, I don't even think Moody was a good teacher. Your best teacher was Lupin, and there's no way Snape will ever be better than Lupin because no one will be.
Right.
But yeah, he's definitely going to be better than at least Umbridge. And Quirinius Quirrell and Lockhart. So
okay, wait, so this is the conversation. Wait, right after this. So Harry's like, maybe he'll die by the end of the year. And then he's like, Quirrell did. And I was like, because you killed
him! Death by child!
Quirrell just dropped dead out of nowhere. I don't know what happened to him. Sweetheart.
Death by burning him through his face. Like, what? So Hermione's like, Hermione's like, you said Dumbledore said Slughorn was going to be teaching Defense Against the Dark Arts. And he's like, I thought.
Oh, I guess he
did?
never.
And he just made this assumption. And it's so funny to me because
I would have made this assumption too, though, Harry.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. But I just want to say, I don't know if this is something that like gay men do, but like straight men are so confidently wrong. Like they'll say something as if it is the truth. Like they'll be like, oh yeah, and Slughorn's going to be teaching Defense Against the Dark Arts. And it's like, no one has told you that. You are just saying that. So the fact that Harry was like, oh yeah, and he's teaching that. I was like, no one said that to you though. Like, I would be
maybe
like, well,
somebody
I think
else left the school.
I'd be like, well, I think he is anyway. Like,
maybe
I would
Binns
assume
finally stopped being a ghost, so they need a history
of magic. Yeah. So yeah, Harry's like, oh, I realized as he's like kind of thinking back to his visit with Slughorn, he's like, you know what? Dumbledore actually never said he was going to be teaching that. He never said specifically what he'd be teaching. So then Dumbledore addresses the fact that Voldemort and his Death Eaters are again at large. He's like, it is a very dangerous time. We all need to take care of ourselves to like stay safe. He mentions that the castle is protected in numerous ways. And then he also specifically says, like, please don't be like out in the corridors at night, like when you should be sleeping and stuff. That for some reason that's the thing that he like highlights. And then he says, good night, Pip Pip, which I love. Mm-hmm. I love that he said Pip Pip. And then Hermione heads off to shepherd the first years to the common room to do her prefectly duties. Ron, I understand you're like there for your friend, but like, do you get like a demerit because you didn't do it? Like what is the tracking system for this? I don't understand.
Why does she have to do all the work?
Yeah. I'm just like, come on.
We have always said though that Ron should not be the prefect.
Dean should have been prefect. It should have been Dean. Yes. So Ron stays to chat with Harry about what actually happened. So Harry tells him about Draco. And then there's this weird bit where it's like, it was a testament to their friendship that Ron didn't laugh. I'm sorry, what? If
why
you
would Ron
came
have
to
laughed?
me, thank you. Okay, I was like, this is why we're friends. Because if you came to me and you were like, oh, I was spying on so-and-so, and then they caught me, and they like stepped on my face and broke my nose, I literally would be like, oh
That's
my
horrifying.
God, are you okay? Yeah. Like I would be like, are you sure you're okay? That's awful.
I mean, I definitely would have been like, why did you go in there without a plan? But I wouldn't have been like, what a laugh riot.
funny. There was blood all over your face. Yeah, like I was like, what? That was so weird to me.
But I don't understand straight culture. I don't understand straight boy culture. If they would have like been like, ha 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 ha.
Is that a straight boy culture
I don't
thing?
know.
I'm like,
you gotta ask Michael.
Oh yeah, I'll ask. I'm like, would you laugh at? But I know Michael. He would also not laugh at that. He would be like, oh my god, because
that's why he married him.
The people I surround myself with do not take like kindly to any form of violence. There's not like yeah, you know, sometimes you just gotta slap him. Sometimes you just gotta step on his face. Like, yeah, not my crowd. So Ron, when Harry shares with him what Draco was talking about, and like is like, I think he's a Death Eater. Like he's basically confirmed it. Ron, like, again, just kind of shrugs it off and is like, he was just showing off for Parkinson. Like he's just talking out of his ass, basically. So then Hagrid comes up and says hi. Obviously, Harry is frustrated by Ron's response, to be clear. But they stop talking about it because Hagrid comes up and says hello. Then we find out that he was late because he was hanging out with good old Grop. Grop can somewhat speak now.
Allegedly.
Supposedly. And Hagrid says he wants to like train him up as his assistant. And I was like, can you legally have like a giant? I don't think so.
Also, I'm sorry. Why do you need an assistant? I'm so sorry. Like, I don't want to be like, who has the worst job here? But like, if anybody needs an assistant, it's Argus fucking Filch, and maybe he might be a little bit happier.
Yeah. Gosh, Argus, and then Poppy. In the hospital wing.
Why is there one woman running the hospital wing?
And why is Filch?
How many?
Why is Filch cleaning up the school if he's a squib? So he has to do everything like manually. That makes absolutely no sense. It's so frustrating.
Crazy.
So Hagrid's like, well, I'll see you tomorrow for your first lesson. Then you can say hi to Buckbeak. Oh, I'm sorry. Witherwings. You could say hi to Witherwings.
Is he gonna stop doing this at some point? Because he's done it now twice, and it's already irritating.
Yeah, I can't remember. If he keeps calling him Buckbeak or not.
Buck,
and then as Hagrid walks,
Witherwings. Nobody cares. Just call him Buckbeak. Who cares? Who remembers? The only person that's going to remember that is Draco Malfoy, and his dad's in federal prison.
Yeah, in prison.
I think you're fine if you're like, oh, it's Buckbeak. Or you could just be like, I missed that goddamn hippogriff so much. This new hippogriff I just got, I named this one Buckbeak 2.
Yeah. So after Hagrid walks away, Harry and Ron both look at each other, and they're like, You're not taking care of magical creatures, are you? And they both basically are like, no. And neither is Hermione.
No.
And they're like, oh no. That's going to be bad when he finds out. And that's the end of the chapter.
They hadn't discussed this before this moment right now? That's what was weird to me. I was like, they already knew this.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess they haven't officially picked what they're taking. Like,
I thought they picked at the end of the last year.
No, it happens in this. Oh wait, no, they would have had to. Because in this book, though, he gets to, even though he was like, oh, I can't do potions, he ends up going to potions.
Yeah, what?
So there's something that happens where they like get to figure it out. I don't know.
Whatever.
I don't know.
Who cares?
I don't know. But I'm sorry, Hagrid, like, not everyone is Charlie Weasley. And I'm saying this as a person that Care of Magical Creatures would be my favorite class.
She'd be your best student.
I would love that class.
Meanwhile,
but not everyone is
my ass would be in Ancient Runes, bitch.
Would you? I thought you would say Charms.
Well, we all have to take charms. I'm saying electives. Or I would be getting an easy A in Muggle Studies. Easy A.
Yes, that's what I would do Muggle Studies and Care of Magical Creatures.
There's a bit. Do you know the new guy on Saturday Night Live?
No, I don't.
What's
I
his
haven't
name?
watched
Who
it in
speaks
so
Spanish? I don't remember what his name is, but he's so funny.
I haven't watched
He has a stand up bit where he talks about how he was like, he's I think his parents are Cuban and Dominican or something like that. So he like is he's like a native Spanish speaker, and he said he went to college, I think in Ohio, and he was like, I just wanted to get an easy A, so I took Spanish. And he was like, the first day he like got up there and was like, his name's Marcelo. He was like, yo soy Marcelo, la 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 la, like, blah, 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 like introduces himself, does the whole thing because they were all supposed to come up and be like, me llamo Adam.
Yeah.
Yo estoy comida. Yeah, blah blah. And so at the end, the teacher's like, and that is your new Spanish teacher. So she like loved it.
Oh yeah. Cute.
But that would be me in Muggle studies. I would be like,
Yeah.
when are we going to talk about microwaves? Microwaves. When are we going to talk about that? Okay, so we have a comment from chapter 5.
Oh.
At Tabby Matha 29 says, another great episode. I really think Joe lets the mask slip in this book with how the girls treat Fleur in this chapter, but it will continue with Romilda Vane and her being a stereotypical giggling love-obsessed girl for Harry this year. We get it, Joe. Hermione, Ginny, and Tonks aren't like other girls. I also get the feeling that Joe is someone who believes that all female friendships are rooting in not liking other women, gossip, and backstabbing, and that's why she doesn't have many girlfriends. Just my personal opinion. Also,
Tabby
totally...
Martha. You're hitting the nail on the head here.
Speak the truth. Also totally relate to Ari as a young girl who developed early. School dress code always seemed unfair, inconsistent, and just made me even more self-conscious, especially when other girls in class would wear the same things I was being sent to the office for. Why did the early 2000s have to be skinny jeans and scoop neck tees?
Yeah. Why?
And to which I also said, not just Romilda Vane, but don't forget we're going to get Lavender Brown in this book too, which is like its own never-ending fucking saga.
Yeah.
And then we have another comment from at Richelle Ju. Glad to see you back. I thought the podcast had ended. Also, I left you a review on Apple Podcasts, 5 stars, of course, a while back, but maybe you couldn't see it as I'm based in Finland. I don't know. No. I think we've read all the ones we've gotten, but we appreciate all comments and all reviews, even if we've never said them on.
If we still haven't read it, you can take a screenshot and send it to us on like the Instagram, and we'll read it. I'll keep an eye out for it because that's weird.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what we got.
Thank you, Tabby Matha. You are so correct. Like 1,000%. It was so stupid. I feel like now we would be better prepared to like address it, to be like, no, you don't get to take her out of class because you think her pants are too tight. Like, I'll never forget there was that one post of someone that was working at a McDonald's and she just literally had a big butt. And someone, I guess, complained about her because she has like a gorgeous butt. And then someone on the, they posted photos of what she was wearing because it was not inappropriate at all. And someone commented, they were like, what do you want her to do? Tuck in her ass? And I will never not think about that. So it's the same thing with like boobs. It's like, what do you want her to do? Like tuck her boob into the other boob? Like what? That's her body. Yeah. This is the woman's body. Oh, it's so annoying. The worst thing would be when a guy would be like, oh, like when you would wear like a low cut shirt just when it was like you guys. But then if you were going to meet his family or something, you'd be like, oh, do you have to wear that? And it'd be like, yeah, I would always be like, yeah, I am going to wear this. What? Obviously, I didn't continue to date men like that. Michael would never.
And she's talking about Michael, by the way. She's talking about Michael.
He's so never controlling. Even think about saying anything like that. Like, I'm just like, oh,
he would never.
God. No. I mean, I don't.
He'd hear about it for like another week.
Yeah. But he just doesn't care. He's like, wear what you want. It's your life, your body. Like, so dumb. Imagine. Anyway, Tabby Matha, love you. I'm sorry you had to experience that too.
You can find the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you find your podcasts, as well as video versions on the Ampliverse YouTube channel and on Spotify. As always, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe so that we can get a perfect Newt score. 5 stars only, or else you'll have to walk with Tonks. And like,
no, with Harry.
She's
with
such
Harry's
a fucking
dumbass.
downer. Oh, yeah. You have to like live in Harry's head.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Don't forget to follow us on TikTok at the Ampliverse and Instagram or wait, hold on, I read that backwards. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at HVAnxious or YouTube and TikTok at the Ampliverse. We are hosted on Spotify for podcasters, so thank you to them and are a proud member of the Ampliverse. Please check them out at theampliverse.com. Thank you, Ari.
Thank you, Adam.
And as always, Nox.